Communication. We all do it. In fact, I'm communicating with you right now. But here's the thing about communication. Though it seems to be the simplest thing in the world, something that we're taught when we're young, something that we have deeply ingrained in our human selves, so many people seem to struggle with it so much.
You want to, I don't know.
What?
Whether it's trying to pitch your idea to a potential customer, explain something important to someone who is unfamiliar with a concept, or even just get the word out about what you're working on, communication can be really tricky.
Well, it's not easy, that's for sure. And I don't have the best track record in the world.
So today's theme is all about the ways in which I've observed companies and people failing miserably at communicating and what to do about it. Let's roll.
Autobots, roll out. We roll.
My name is Tara, and this is Truly Social. The first and most frequent way I see people and companies failing at communication is by assuming people are following along with what you're doing. You've heard the old saying, assuming makes an ass out of you and me, right? Well, as crass as that saying is, it's true. The only people who really care about what you're doing are your competitors and your mom. For everyone else, well, they have a lot of things on their minds. You need to communicate clearly and effectively, and no, posting it as a Facebook update doesn't count. People are still bound to miss it.
I must have blinked and missed it.
Really?
I have a video that's all about this subject. The second most frequent way I see communications fail is when someone treats their audience like they are idiots.
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Even when the information is dense or tricky, you need to treat your audience with respect. Too many messages either talk down or at the recipients. People aren't generally stupid. They just don't have time to unravel big concepts and ideas that you've worked for years on. It's your job to make the message clear and interesting. The third communication blunder is about not listening.
You're not even listening to me. No, I heard you. You said a bunch of words, right? Look at this.
Yes, you heard that right. Communication isn't a one-way stream. It's about listening way more than it is about speaking. By listening, you know what's on people's minds. By listening, you understand what makes your audience tick. By listening, you hear feedback and improve your own messaging. By listening, you know that right now is probably not a good time to post that message because the news is melting down again. So then how do you become a good communicator? Number one, know your audience. That means listening, like I just said, on a regular basis and understanding what they're thinking, dreaming, worried about. It means that you understand their language, their rules of engagement. It also means that you know when to communicate and when to stay silent.
All right, zip it. You can't even... Zip it. If you just... one time.
Because sometimes not communicating is the best communication course of all. Number two, share more. It seems pretty straightforward, but the more you share, the more broadly you share it. And the more likely your audience is to get a glimpse into what you're working on and potentially become interested. I put out these videos every week, and I have close associates and friends who are surprised that I post them weekly, as they only see them now and again. Number three, be relevant. When you do share, make sure that what you share connects to what people care about and understand. Tie the message back to what they know. For instance, when someone pitches their startup idea, they'll sometimes tie it back to what the investor or the recipient would already understand. So we're the Uber for babysitting, or it's like Spotify, but for books. Number four, make it a story. Stories are the Trojan horses of the message world. When you package your message in an interesting story, it'll stick. Even better if you tell a story that really connects with the listener, something that they can relate to. If you can connect their experience to yours, your message, it'll stick even deeper.
That's an attention getter.
And number five, get out of your echo chamber. This one seems pretty self-evident, but it can be one of the hardest things to do. I see people do this all the time and stay in their comfort zone and only talk to people that already understand their message, therefore never evolve. I make it a regular practice to tell my story or convey my message way outside of my usual network and comfort zone. This way I can learn how to get more and more clear. It's really messy at first and uncomfortable, but after talking to enough people and hearing what they repeat back back to me when they start to understand, I start to recognize what the most clear message sounds like. And number 6, stop being so precious. In order to get an idea across, sometimes you have to drop the complexities of that message. Let your message get a foot in the door, and then once you're in, then you can layer on the nuances and subtleties and all the ways in which it's different.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now.
There are so many people trying to get their ideas heard and messages across every day, and most of these communications fail.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Good communicators are few and far between, but it's important to learn from them because a message or an idea is no good without an audience who understands it. My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.